Good morning, students. Welcome to Seema Bakshi Ma'am's Mayaguri coaching classes. Standard 10. We will try today to understand climatic conditions. Definitely India and Brazil. But here today we will try to get acquainted with the climatic conditions of India. Last time we studied that India have 5 physiographic divisions: Himalayas, Northern Plains, Deccan Plateau, Eastern and Western coastal plains, islands. These are 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Starting to understand it, Himalayas to the extreme north, followed by Northern Plains, that is the foothills of Himalaya up to Peninsular Plateau. This is also known as Deccan Plateau. The Peninsular Plateau tapering towards the south, and the area adjoining the Peninsular Plateau till the sea is coastal areas. Here we have the Eastern Ghats, here the Western Ghats, and up to the water body is the coastal plain. These are the major introductions as a physiographic division. Apart from that, on the eastern as well as on the western sides of Indian water bodies, we have islands. So that is the 5th group. Lakshadweep, Andaman and Nicobar Island. So they also play a major role. On broadly speaking, in terms of climatic conditions, we have to understand that India has been divided into 5 physiographic divisions. Climate of India is of monsoon type. Try to understand this. The only place on the world, the only geographical area of the world having monsoon type of climate. India receives monsoon winds from 2 sides. Now, this is the area we call it southwest, and here southeast. Geographically speaking, on the globe map, India is something like this, and the winds coming from here are like this and also this. From here, that is from the southern tip to India, there is no land that may disturb the flow of the water currents towards India. So naturally, India receives monsoon on these 2 sides. This is southwest and this is southeast. Now, both of them do have their origin in Indian Ocean. This is the Indian Ocean. And this Indian Ocean, as the water vapor starts moving there, we have to understand that the water bodies that try to enter into India are obstructed at the entrance because of the climatic conditions that prevails due to the availability of the ghats on both the sides. This area, we have the ghats, but they are broken, whereas this is a continuous chain. The continuous chain in the western side is the major part that is playing an important role in creating a climatic condition in India. Most importantly speaking, if we try to understand the climatic conditions or the monsoon winds that brings rain to India at large, monsoon have been starting from June 1st, tentatively June 1st, not exactly June 1st but tentatively. On 1st of June, monsoon enters into the Indian Ocean, that is Sri Lanka, as well as these areas also. From 1st June here onwards, the rain also enters here, that is on 1st June. Now, because of this, slowly the winds that approaches like this enters from here towards the central India in Maharashtra. Now, Maharashtra or Gujarat, but while going from this side, it takes 10 to 15 June to enter here, and the central of India is encompassed up to 15 to 30 June. Now, this is the approaching scenario of rainy season. We call it monsoon. Now, monsoon enters here up to 30th June. Slowly, this area that is having temperature of more than 40 degrees centigrade is the area which receives rain, and because of that, humidity goes on increasing. Because of the increasing humidity, the clouds that brings rain also again precipitate in the form of water, and slowly rainy season comes here on a large scale. But at the same time, this is the Ghat area which obstructs the rain, and this is the area we call it as the rain shadow. This area receives rain but at the least, very less. Rain shadow zone to the eastern side of the Western Ghats. Try to understand it. This is the east, and this is the west, or as we call it, west. Now, this western side receives rain. Now, this is the area which receives rain on large scale. Here rainfall is more than 3000 millimeters every year plus. And as the rain approaches here, that is from Akola to Nagpur, slowly rainfall again goes on increasing. Keep this in mind. Because of the rain shadow zone, rain is very less here. And from Jalna onwards, rain starts slowly increasing towards Nagpur. And Nagpur is the region in Maharashtra, again receiving the same amount of rainfall. On western side of India, the rainfall is more because of the obstructions of the Western Ghats and converting the clouds into rain in this region. But when they crosses the Western Ghats, because we have studied in the prior chapters that clouds are of different types, and as according to the height, the clouds penetrates the water is not one and the same. The scenario here, because if we are here and this is the Western Ghats up to here, the height of the Western Ghats is up to here, the clouds that moves in this direction obstructs and gives rain in this area. So this area receives rain more than 3000 millimeters. But while crossing this, the area suddenly that is adjacent to the Western Ghats, but the eastern side of the Western Ghats, rainfall is very less. So Ahmednagar, some parts of Pune are the areas which receive least rainfall. They are the areas which do not receive rainfall as expected in the rest of the part. Similarly, it is one and the same all over. When in Karnataka, on the Western Ghats, there is an area which receives rain more than 7000 millimeters, that means double this. And it is the wettest place in India apart from eastern side. The northeast place, which is the place where we find abundant rain. Now, when we study all these things, slowly the wind enters up to here, and this is the June. We come up to June. So that means in a month, the whole of this area comes under the monsoon winds. At the same time, 1st of June, the wind also enters into this area, that is the ending parts of the Himalaya. But at the same time, here they do not move in this direction. After this, that is the southwest winds goes up to Bengal, they start moving in this direction. But at the same time, the foothills of the Himalaya, as we call it this section as Shivalik, the first area is known as the Shivalik. Temperature drops down, and because of the wind bringing rain to this region, it approaches towards Rajasthan, and Aravallis obstructs these winds. Because of this, this is the area where majority of the rainfall comes up to 15th of July, and 15th of July is the area where this area or this region up to Shivalik, Shimla as we call it, Delhi, Shimla, receives or starts rainy season. Now, because of this area again gets moisture. This is the snow-clad mountain. That is the, if we try to understand A, B, C and D. So, Shivalik, Himachal, Himadri and the most important Trans-Himalaya. Now, these two are permafrost areas. Permafrost means having the snowfall throughout the year. They are totally covered. Most important, Kargil area. Kargil is an area here which receives abundant of the snowfall, glacier after the North Pole. After this is the area of the Himalaya where majority of the snowfall occurs. Second highest glaciated part of the world after the polar region is in India, named as Kargil. So because of that, the temperature that drops down moves in this direction and it obstructs. Himalaya plays a major role in demonstrating the climatic conditions of India. This Himalaya, as the temperature drops down and from here the water currents move towards the western parts of India, that is towards the Aravallis, we have to understand that because of the rainfall, moisture laden wind starts moving towards this direction, rather slows down. The speed slows down because of the moisture content, and as it moves up to the Rajasthan area, Rajasthani Aravallis, these Aravallis obstruct them. At the same time, Shimali and the Himachal also receiving the rain, temperature drops down and slowly temperature drops down and slowly the moisture laden wind cannot move up. Penetration in the form of water moves on, but within a span of time between 2 to 3 weeks, again snowfall starts occurring into the Himadri section. This is Trans-Himalaya. Trans-Himalaya is very less part of India, but the third part, as we call it, Himadri, is an area which is having the snow cover part, and because of that, temperature as it drops down do not allow the rainfall to move further. Now, instead of rain, snow starts coming down, and because of that, again the temperature drops down very fast. That means this is the area where monsoon wind brings rain, but not for a longer time. The best example is Char Dham Yatra as well as Amarnath and Vaishno Devi. Because of this, they do not continuously, the doors of these temples are open for the pilgrims throughout the year. That is what we are trying to understand. Because of the heavy snowfall, these temples are closed for a major period throughout the year for the pilgrims. Now, because of that, as the wind moves to this direction, it moves up to here only, that is up to Rajasthan. And because of the heavy glaciated part, the temperature that drops down here up to 0 degree, the movement of the water body or clouds, as we call them, stops. At the same time, in the south, temperature goes on rising. Temperature here goes on rising after October, or the end of October is the time where the temperature in the south increases. Temperature is always inversely proportional to pressure. As the temperature rises here, the pressure that is built here plays a major role and it slackens. Because of that, the temperature, because it rises, the air becomes light and moves upward. This is also because the crops of this region are fully, means the area that is cultivated for the crops gives its harvest season at the 15th of October and onwards. So after the harvest season, the crops gets exposed to the sunlight. Temperature starts rising because the grounds now are directly exposed to the sunlight. The time duration of the sunlight also goes on increasing, and because of that, all the area that is now heated directly because of the sunlight, the temperature rises, and because of the temperature, the air becomes light, it moves upward, and the snow laden area having heavy moisture starts moving in this direction. The cool area moves in this direction. Keep it in mind, we are on the verge of the change of the climatic conditions from rainy season towards winter season, and because of this, the area that was bringing rain to this area slowly starts moving. The only area in the world where monsoon as it approaches retreats, and this retreating monsoon is a climatic condition that is studied by the Meteorological Department of India. Is the only season in the world which is studied in that way. That means India has 4 types of seasons: the summer, the rainy, the retreating monsoon, that is the monsoon and the retreating monsoon, and then the winter. So if we try to understand the importance of the retreating monsoon, it is that after July, August, as the winds move back to this area, is also because of the emergences of the cyclonic conditions. Keep it in mind, the cyclonic conditions that are prevailing on the eastern sides of the India are always the production of or are always created because of the peninsular area and this area which is receiving rainfall throughout the year. Rainfall is not heavy, but because of the continuous flow, this area is receiving or is known for the wettest place in the world. Now by the time after August, slowly the cyclonic conditions moves in this direction, and up to April, these are the areas which receive cyclones, and predominantly after April cyclones do occur, but in the other side of the Indian Ocean, which do not harm the Indian area. Though we call it as is a destructive creation of the nature, yet it supports the agriculture of India. With the retreating monsoon, as cyclones prevails here, slowly this retreating monsoon brings rain to this region. That is after Diwali, after October or in the November, even sometimes we receive rainfall, maybe during Diwali or even after that. This rainfall is always helpful for the crops that are during that season. That is why the crops in this region are having 3 seasons of crops. The area of this eastern side, Madras and adjoining. Madras receives the most of the rainfall during winter, that is January, December, January, February. And because of that, small time season crops are taken here. It's the only area in India where 3 seasons of rice are cultivated. Broadly speaking, when both of these sections move in this direction, this is the area where rainfall continuously starts from 1st of June, it moves up to here, then again retreats, and the rainfall is continuing here. Near about more than 7 months, the rainfall continuously goes on this direction. That is particularly if we start to understand the Meghalaya, the Khasi Hills as we call it. This area is also the area which or where the peaks of the mountains are known locally by the local names. So in Meghalaya, there is a Khasi Hill area where Banswaram, Cherrapunji are the areas which are the wettest place, having a rainfall of more than 11,000 millimeters throughout the year. And that is why they are the wettest place, also receives rainfall, and the most astonishing figure of that is just adjacent to these areas where there is 11,000 millimeters of rainfall annually. Near about 75 to 100 kilometers apart is Shillong, which is a rain shadow zone area. Here the rainfall is least. Now this is something we have to understand. Broadly speaking, some of the most important ingredients that we have to understand in terms of this is: 1. The rain starts from the southern tip of India, moves towards Gujarat, from Gujarat enters into central India, particularly Maharashtra and other parts, encompasses the whole of the area, enters up to Bengal, at the same time from Bengal, the approach towards the north, that is Delhi, Shillong or the Shivalik range, goes on up to Aravallis. But after Aravallis, Rajasthan receives least amount of rain. It is because of the Aravallis and the speedy movement of the wind that enters into Pakistan. Keep this in mind, because this is the desert area. Because this is the desert area adjacent to the northern plain, a vast area which is desert, temperature is high. And because of that, the clouds that moves in this direction slowly gets elevated. The elevation or the clouds that are moving in this direction slowly moves upward, and then they are pushed towards Pakistan. So this region receives least amount of rainfall. And because of that, though it is too close to the Himalaya, temperature drops down, but rain is not made available. Here is the area which receives least amount of rain in India, whereas this is the area which receives highest or the wettest place in the world. Now, something that we have to understand, the two corners, the eastern and the western of northern India, are the two totally opposite, contrast to each other. Whereas as we move towards the northern scenario, slowly the Shivalik is the area do receive snowfall and rainfall, but not continuously. As we move upward, as the area goes on elevating, slowly we come towards Himachal. Here also there are many places which do receive snowfall. But after that, as we enter into the Himagiri, the major part of the Himagiri is in India. And this from Kashmir, Uttaranchal, Uttar Pradesh, some parts of Bihar to the eastern sides, all these areas are snow clad. They are the permafrost areas. Near about 7 peaks are here which are above 8,000 meters. Now that is why they are called permafrost. Apart from Mount Everest, all other peaks more than 8,000 are in this region. This region, as we call it Trans-Himalaya, is a part of Jammu and Kashmir, and after that very rare in India. So this is the region which is outside India, but because of the glaciated part, because of the temperature dropping down here throughout the year, the moisture laden clouds that moves from this direction towards north of India, Himalaya obstructs them. And because Himalaya obstructs them, the clouds that are moving towards this direction slowly again starts moving backward. This movement of the backward clouds is named as retreating monsoon. And that is where India is always in a beneficial mood because of the Himalaya. Himalaya is said to be the biggest asset in terms of climate to India. Also, when we try to understand some of the scenarios of India, here we have mentioned it as after the Aravallis, because of the Rajasthan, there are 4 districts in Rajasthan which are receiving less amount of or termed as desert, and among them Ganganagar. Name is Ganga, but this Ganganagar receives 50 degree of temperature, particularly in June. Now, as temperature rises, moisture starts moving towards that area, and that is where rainy season moves upward. Also, the Kargil hills. Now, Kargil is too close to Ganganagar. Geographically speaking, in this area, Kargil is too close to the Ganganagar, but Kargil receives minus 48 degree temperature in winter. Now, this is the area where snowfall is at the highest. It is said that more than 60 feet of the snowfall occurs here annually. After that, the Khasi Hills. Throughout the year, near about 7 or more than 7 months, rainfall occurs continuously here. It is not the highest rainfall, but the wettest place. Now, that is why this region requires or gets rain throughout the year. After that, Jaisalmer, that is also the part of adjacent to Ganganagar, is an area where only 120 millimeter of rainfall is. This is drought-prone area. Any area in the world receiving less than 350 millimeters of rainfall is said to be drought-prone region. Now, this is the drought-prone region, particularly 4 districts of Rajasthan. After that, Tamil Nadu. This is the area. As we spoke about Chennai, this is the area which receives rain, particularly because of the retreating monsoon, that is the cyclonic conditions that prevails in winter, and because of that, this region receives rainfall culminating into 3rd season of rice. But that is the beneficial factor for this region. Also, one of the important part, because these are the broken, rivers flow in this direction. Try to understand the flow of the river, that means slope is in this direction. Here it is a continuous stretch of the western Sahyadri, that means rivers are rain fed. Here also the rivers are rain fed, but the difference between the two are the rivers here are long enough, whereas rivers here are short. Because they are short and stiff, they are swift, very fast moving, but these are gentle rivers. These are old rivers. That is the main reason sorry, that is the main reason that this area and this area have two geographical distinguished features. This is the area where we do not find the sediments deposited because of the swift movement of the rivers, and this is the area where sediments are deposited. One of the biggest sediment deposited area, we call it Sundarbans in the world, is because of Ganga and Brahmaputra. Now, these are the areas that creates delta, whereas no deltas are formed here. Also, the temperature on this plays a major role. This is the area where temperature is less compared to this. The water in Bay of Bengal receives less amount or gives less amount of salt as compared to this. Now, that is because of the fresh water that penetrates in between. Brahmaputra, Ganga, Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri and others, Tungabhadra. These are the rivers. Though these are the rivers smaller, yet are the rivers that gives water, and because of the fresh water, salt content is less compared to this. Because here only Tapi and Narmada, apart from Luni, these three are the rivers on Gujarat border. After that, there are, but in Pakistan, through Pakistan, that is the Punjab plains, bringing Indus river, one of the major rivers, and because of that, this area receives more salt during the summer season. So naturally, salt content in this water is more. Here it is less because of the fresh water penetrating into the Bay of Bengal as compared to the Arabian Sea. Hope after going through this, you will be able to understand the climatic conditions. Definitely, after reading the text, many concepts will be clear. Because at one and the same time, it is not that the rainy season starts here and here. It takes time, and near about 1 month is the difference in the tip bottom to the top. The temperature, the rainfall and affecting the greenery, that is the flora as well as fauna, are the contents which we have to understand that determines the climate of India. Climate of India is of monsoon type, but monsoon does not start abruptly, and that is where you will have to understand exactly how it all works. Hope you understand this. Next time we will try to understand Brazil in the same context. Thank you.